The film opens with Tom, a hardened and straightforward detective, dozing lazily on his couch. His calm morning is abruptly disrupted when he notices a group of low-level criminals attempting to steal a car right outside his window. Without a moment's hesitation, he heads out to confront them. Tom orders the would-be thieves to back off, but they ignore him, clueless about the storm they've just provoked. Within moments, Tom delivers a swift, brutal lesson in street combat, leaving them sprawled on the ground. As he walks away, he issues a stark warning. If he catches them again, it'll be the last mistake they ever make. The next day, things take a shocking turn. News reports start circulating, painting Tom as a violent cop who viciously attacked innocent young men. Overnight, he goes from seasoned detective to a public villain. Back at the precinct, Tom meets Elizabeth, a fellow officer, who confides in him about her troubled past. She explains that she once went undercover in a dangerous drug ring and, in order to protect her identity, she was forced to use drugs herself. Unfortunately, the boundary between her undercover role and her real life blurred until addiction took hold, leading her to rehab. After getting clean, she tried again to pass the sergeant's exam, but failed, resulting in her demotion to constable. Later, Tom catches up with Bruce, the chief inspector, who is drowning in grief after the recent loss of his wife. Wanting to lift his friend's spirits, Tom drags Bruce to a bar for drinks. Between shots and sarcastic jokes, Tom manages to draw a rare laugh from the devastated man. Proof that, even in his rough, unpolished way, Tom can bring light to dark moments. But the tone changes abruptly when tragedy strikes. A female officer is walking alone when a hooded man suddenly appears, pulls a gun, and fatally shoots her in the street. The shocking murder rattles the entire force. Tom races to the scene, where he tells the others that Bruce is still grieving and won't be back on duty anytime soon. However, with an officer down, the department can't afford to be short to fill the gap. They assign a temporary inspector named Porter. His reception is chilly, not because he lacks skill, but because he is openly gay and many in the department refuse to work under him. Meanwhile, Elizabeth is visited by a young gang member known as Metal. He confesses that he's terrified his crew might have killed someone. Moved by his vulnerability, Elizabeth agrees to help him one last time, but gives him an ultimatum. If the victim is alive, he must leave the gang. If the man is dead, he has to leave the city entirely. Seeking backup, Elizabeth consults Tom, who advises her to involve Craig. Reluctantly, she approaches Craig, who agrees, but only if she goes on a date with him. She accepts, partially because she finds him attractive and partially because she's been craving companionship. The tension spikes when a reporter receives a disturbing phone call from a man named Barry, who proudly claims responsibility for killing the female officer. He coldly warns that he's just beginning his spree and, to prove his point, murders another officer mid-conversation. Before hanging up, Barry delivers a chilling revelation. There are 8 more names on his hit list. The news spreads quickly, putting the department on high alert. Porter meets with Tom to discuss Barry and gauge the kind of man they're dealing with. Tom is surprised when Porter seems to know more about him than expected. Tom contacts one of his most reliable sources, Radner, who tells him about a man named Barry Weiss, a braggart who recently claimed he set a police dog on fire just for practice. Alarmed, Tom and Porter head to Barry's place. Barry greets them with unsettling calm, but Tom recognizes him instantly. They clashed a year earlier at a billiard hall. Tom uses mocking taunts to unnerve him before leaving. Knowing the pressure is mounting, Barry gathers some of his belongings and hides them at a secret stash spot, unaware that Radner is tailing him and taking note of the location. When Radner investigates the stash, he makes a chilling discovery: trophies from Barry's victims, confirming without a doubt that Barry is the cop killer terrorizing the city. Meanwhile, Bruce has a moment of clarity while buying alcohol and decides he needs to pull himself together. He returns to duty, but Barry has already chosen him as his next target. Barry follows Bruce home, attacks him inside his apartment, and after a violent struggle, beats him to death with his own hammer. Barry then settles in to watch TV beside the body, before leaving with Bruce's police uniform as a trophy. Later, Barry calls the reporter again, bragging about his kill and instructing him to print his name, "Call me Blitz."
Yeah, I forgot. It's Blitz.
Tom is devastated when he hears about Bruce's murder, his grief quickly hardening into resolve. Radner, still shadowing Barry, alerts the reporter to the location of Barry's stash in exchange for $50,000. But Barry intercepts them at a bar, follows Radner to the bathroom, and kills him before he can reveal his name. He then takes the cash for himself. Police soon realize Barry's targets are officers who had arrested him in the past, meaning Elizabeth is next. After returning from her date with Craig, she's attacked by Barry at home. Metal steps in to protect her, but is killed in the struggle, giving police enough time to arrive and drive Barry off to flush him out. Tom and Porter release Barry's photo to the media. The plan works. The city turns against him, leading to his capture after a tense chase. But with no solid evidence, police are forced to release him. Tom and Porter then set a trap, using Barry's grudge against Tom to lure him out during Bruce's funeral. Disguised in Bruce's stolen uniform, Barry follows what he thinks is Tom to a parking garage, only to be ambushed. Tom explains that with no evidence, they'll simply frame him as Blitz's last victim, then shoots him with his own gun. Porter cleans the scene, erasing any trace that in the aftermath. Tom even gets petty revenge on the reporter by unleashing dogs on him. Barry is gone, but Tom's methods remain as unapologetically ruthless as ever.